First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out, as our first drive will begin at the 25. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. You talk about this Lions defense. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. This now a 3rd and 4. To throw is Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Herbert. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I don't believe that was called right here in the moment. I believe this was called during practice this week, that he was going to decide to be aggressive even on his own side of the field.
Just you mean because it's the opening drive? Maybe they had this scripted?
I think that he just talked about it with his team and said, listen, I'm confident in you. If we end up in this situation, we'll go for it early just to set a tone in this game.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Chase Claypool, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go, shot! Trap alert, trap alert!
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. You look at this Bears defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Another run for Gibbs here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
He'll buy some time right. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down. The Lions at 4-5, a game under 500. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
St. Brown motioning left. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Ready?
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it past the 20. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they've controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown. Then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
Brandon, I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. And that offense, they're forced to run right back out. Still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Gibbs straight ahead. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
3rd and 5. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Now they'll look to Willis to pass it here. They'll roll him out right. Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields. That is caught by Herbert. Finding space at the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing. And they got it out to him on the left side. And he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the 50, here's Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's Fields. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And the tackle there by Elijah Hicks.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Here we go.
Now 2nd and 9. Hand off now to Gibbs. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, CD, that's the 2nd time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game, so you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
First and 10, Willis. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ready?
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Come on, come on.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. On third down, here's Gibbs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 77 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And they gave themselves options there on the third down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
They'll run with Gibbs. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Lions have got it back to within a score. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Here's second and 7 now from the 28. Off play action, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Well, so often now we're praising tight ends for their nimbleness and how they catch the ball downfield. But occasionally we get a reminder that tight ends, they've got that tough guy aspect too. How about him catching that short one there, shaking off tacklers, and turning that into an expansive gain down.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 83 yards. And the Lions are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
On play action, Fields. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Fields now to throw. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Here we go.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. Fighting through. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Play action. It's Fields. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. Well, their first sack of the game, and it doesn't come from a usual suspect, not somebody up front, but Charles, a defensive back getting in there.
And I can tell you from experience, he's beyond excited to make that play because you're exactly right. Is it normal to call his number to run at the quarterback like that? Usually you're defending the pass, but he takes full advantage and dumps him to the turf.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Fields. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Out of the gun, Fields. Steps away to his left. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fields. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Play action, Willis. He's airing it out for Williams. And this throw will be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Here we go.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Play fake. Here's Willis. Rolling to his right. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
And there, even if you've got to take something off that throw so that he slows down to catch it, that's far more preferable than what happened there. A big miss on what should have been a touchdown.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Willis, 3rd and long. And it'll find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Tyreek Stevenson in on the stop.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. A give, right side for Gibbs. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On the give, here's Gibbs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 106 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the 3rd quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just got to find a way to tackle someone.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now it's Gibbs. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Opting to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. But nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
And Gibbs has it. And he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Willis on the sneak, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Malik Willis, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Extra point try now for Patterson. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Patterson back out there to send this one away. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good 2nd half. Well, the other side scored, and now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the 2nd half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down.
Here we go.
But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. And a quick throw here that's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and
Here we go.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches.
Hey, Ken. Out, let's go.
Throwing again is Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On 1st down, it's Fields. And this will be incomplete.
But they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. Now it's Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Did a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Again, Fields. And that is incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They snap it to Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. So no gain on the play, and that'll set up 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Flushed out right. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
They'll try to run this one in. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That was a huge play on 3rd down, so now what? Do you go for it? Do you trust your offense? Or do you want to put on your defense to try and get the ball back? Me? I'm going for it right here.
Fourth down. Fields has to have this one. Touchdown Bears! Treston Ebner from 4 yards out. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And this will wind up a Lions first down as he gets it up past the 35.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here we go, here we go.
2nd and 9.
Check that. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates.
Off the play fake, here's Willis. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
From here on, any score could be the winning one, and he is certainly aware of that. Look at the way he locked in on that marker and made a mad scramble to get to it for the first down.
Here's Gibbs. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 143 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Cougar 19.
And they'll run it with Gibbs. And shutting him off now open field. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout. And that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Pettis now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Now he's into the clear again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, 37 yards. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Patterson now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Hand off to Gibbs, headed right here. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 232 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down. And after that, the air just went right out of the balloon. And you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 17 more on that one and another first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw is Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw on second down, Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
To the air again, Fields. And he's going to go down. They get to it back at the 40. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so he wants to show it off later on. Look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him some special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he stays up. And oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And the Lions are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Now run by Gibbs. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball.